Hi everyone, welcome back. Now in today's video I'm going to share with you some tips and advice on how to transform a seemingly boring section of wall into something that looks like it's always been there. In this case, in this 17th century cottage. So let's get inside and let me take you through the process. It's this section here. At the moment, just framework. It forms the half wall of the kitchen and this is the entryway. So my challenge is to transform this wall into something that looks like it belongs in this cottage. Now if you've got any challenges like this, give it a go. You know, you can change the look of a fairly simple wall into something with a bit of character. Doesn't matter what decor you've got, give it a try. So let's discuss some of the tools that are going to come in handy for this project. Tape measure, Stanley knife and a pencil, a drill, several more pencils, because if you're like me you put them down and you'll lose one of them. Next, a jigsaw, of course safety wear, glasses, spirit level and handsaw, circular saw as well. An assortment of screws and fixings. Oh, and don't forget to put your spare batteries on charge. So that's some of the tools we're going to need. Now let's talk about the materials. Now this varies greatly on your design, your budget and your project. But for me, we're going to be using dry lining and some ancient old planks of wood. So let's just go up the ladder and see what we've got upstairs. What else we can use? 2 sheets of plasterboard, some offcuts of old wood that was removed when I made the opening for the staircase. The plasterboards are destined for this wall, but I can soon pick up another few. A hole saw and a rasp. A pile of gnarly old wood. So let's get this makeover underway. Okay, so now I've got a rough idea of the materials I've got to work with. Relatively inexpensive dry lining, plasterboard. We're going to start having fun with it. Yeah, I don't want it to be flat and sort of one-dimensional. I want it to have a bit of character. So I'm going to incorporate some old bits of wood that project out slightly. We'll just see how it evolves. I've got a rough idea, but I don't fully know until I've completed it how it's going to be. So yeah, that's just part of the fun of getting stuck in and having a go. Now when you create a new section in a building, you need to pick up inspiration from the surrounding area to keep it cohesive. So yes, we've got heavy beamed work here that is going to play a significant role in this design. Now this is a newly constructed wall, so if you are going onto an existing wall, there could be cables, there could be pipe work hidden behind the plasterboard. So if you're embarking on anything like this, fixing timbers onto your plasterboard, drilling, screwing, first things first, make sure there's no cables in there and pipes. You can get a stud detector which picks up on electric and cables as well. So run that over the area, make sure there's no plugs or sockets before you start drilling and screwing into an existing wall. Here, I know it's all empty because I made it. At this stage, it's very important to be flexible with your design. I did put this in place, but afterwards I changed my mind. It just didn't look right. Hello, we have visitors.
Yeah, Titch wanted to come and see what you're doing.
Hello, Titch.
Hello, Sean.
Been a good girl?
Yeah.
Going picking in the garden?
Yep.
Okay, just making this wall.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Progress is happening very, very quickly now.
Yeah.
What do you think of it, Titch?
Do we get the paws up? Yay, that's all that matters. Always nice to have some guests, eh? I've had to make a few adjustments here. I had a thinner section. I didn't have any 3x2 at the time. I only had 2x2, so this was just tacked into position. Now I'm just using all my off-cut boards that I've got. As we progress, you'll see why it doesn't really matter at this stage. I always think it's great as well to use all of your offcuts, discarded pieces. I'll patch that in, not an issue. This will be blocked off, that's fine. You may well be surprised how this drab section of wall is going to look completely different. Even small offcuts will be used. Now if you need to trim up your board, you can simply do it with your Stanley knife. Hold it square on, like so, and just run it up. That way you keep the board nice and square. Now normally when you're doing a typical dry line wall, when you screw it right the way in, try not to break the paper, because once you do that it starts losing its integrity and its strength. Now this corner here will have a bigger beam going up and picking the underside of this cross beam. So a post in here, picking that beam up above, that will finish this corner off nicely. Something like this. Not quite tall enough, that one. But it'll be something similar to this, only a bit bigger in dimension as well as length. So now we've pretty much got our blank canvas. Now for the next stage. Now I've just got to determine the overhang this side. There'll be considerably more the other side because I plan to do some under shelf lighting there. We'll just pop some temporary fixings into the top, and should we need to move it about we can simply unscrew it and get it where it needs to be. Okay, let's check, see what we've got in the wood store. So already you're kind of getting a sense of what it's going to develop into, nice and rustic. These planks actually came out of the cottage, they were stacked where the bench is now. Big pile of them, been there donkey's years, so yeah, it's rather fitting that they're going back. Now they're solid oak, they actually look a lot worse than what they are. They will clean up rather nicely, but that's the look that I'm after, that's the key to these projects. Yeah, we've used new boarding and framework, but when it actually comes to the facing of the wall, just get yourself some old wood, you know, relatively cheap to pick up if anyone's discarding any. Cut it, plane it, you know, shape it, put a wavy edge on it. Really can get that period feel just by using old timber. Another handy tip when you're coming into something like this where you don't know where the wood's going to stop. Get your offcut, push it in there, hook it over the end, and you've got an accurate way of measuring. Well, what do you think? Is this something you think you could tackle? There's no real skill in it, just take your time, do your measurements, and you'll be surprised what you can achieve. Now there's lots more work to do on this, rubbing down, planing, might loosen off the edges a little, but as you can see we've took relatively bland plasterboard and turned it into something with a little bit of feature. If you wanted to be more sort of modern, squarer, neater boards, maybe some beading in the recesses, you know, and paint it. This is going to be waxed. We're going to rub it down after we've done all the necessary woodworm treatment. And yeah, I think it's just nice that it was laying on the floor over there for probably 30, 40, 50, maybe more than that years. Don't know what it was destined for. But I looked at it and I thought, that will just tie this area all together. Now when it comes to enhancing it a little bit more from my own perspective, what I'll do, I'll drill some holes, I'll put some dowlings in there so it looks like they're all pegged and jointed, and just generally, you know, loosen the edges off a little so it looks like it's worn. Cost of this, that was free. You know, you might be lucky and be able to get some free wood, friends and neighbours. Plasterboard, not even €10 worth. So yeah, not a bad little enhancement for the money. As you know, I'm always keen to share my money saving tips with you, and I think this is one of them, for sure. What do you think? Hopefully this video has helped and inspired you to start your own little project. If you'd like to be part of mine, the links will be in the description. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.